Hello, fellow dwarves, and welcome back to a redo of my original review of the turret overcharge overclock. I've received a lot of backlash from that video stating that the way in which I implemented it was wrong, and I have lived and learned from that experience. So let's dive into the redo of this overclock. First thing I did was change up my platform gun. I had completely glossed over the bug repellent upgrade, so thank you all in the comments for telling me about it. The next task was tweaking my SMG to better suit this overclock, so after some minor modifications, it was time to change the hardest thing. And that, dwarves, is my playstyle. My playstyle as engineer rooted me in my firm belief that this overclock was next to worthless, so making a drastic change to begin using my platform gun as a tool to find or create choke points was rather jarring. I had to try out a whole unique way of playing that challenged my thought process on the mechanics of this game. I died a lot for the first few matches. Fuck! Damn it! Even getting called a greenbeard at one point, but I powered through. Taking the advice I got from you guys, I started using my platform gun as a tool to bottleneck bugs through and setting up my turrets at the choke point, which was especially helpful for escort and mule missions. I even switched over to lure grenades, which is a least favorite for me, but I figured they'd be helpful in keeping the bugs where I wanted them. And you know what? After all that, experimenting with a new playstyle and really changing up and challenging my view of the engineer class as a whole, I decided my last review was wrong. Turret overcharge isn't the worst overclock for the engineer. But at the same time, I certainly don't think that it's the best. Now, this is just all a matter of my opinion, of course, but the way in which this overclock forces me to play, it really changes the way I have to use the engineer, and frankly, I just don't enjoy that type of gameplay. I enjoy using the engineer the way I did before, and that doesn't mean this overclock is bad. It just certainly isn't for me. What it all boils down to, of course, is the way that you enjoy playing the game. If you enjoy prepping the battlefield and setting up the swarm so that you can manipulate the way that glyphids come at you, then I know you'll definitely love this overclock, but that's just not my style. Part of the charm of this game for me is the chaos that comes when a huge swarm comes down and me and my friends are running around like madmen, freaking out that we're about to get overrun and then, by some miracle, making it through the swarm. It's the magic in those moments that, for me, really make me love the game. But hey, you know what? Everyone plays this game in their own ways, and this video is about one in particular. So without further ado, let's get into some gameplay. As with every mission, my legal standing is that I'm not allowed to go to Hoxie sober, so we get the customary beer. After a quick ride to the surface, it was time to get to work. The instant I got the notification that the swarm was coming, I quickly deployed my turrets at the choke point, got them electrified, and it easily culled the swarm, making quick work of the first wave. Honestly, overclock's making me like the grenade launcher just a wee bit more. My natural enemy fucking holds! After a quick refuel, we got back on the path. I don't even remember the last time that I used lure grenades, Jesus. And after a little trial and error, it was time to start the Armor and Hearthstone. My turrets were in place, platforms placed, and it was ready to start the event. Why was it red for a second? What, was that a glitch? I swear these things go exactly where I really don't want them. This is so frustrating! Wow, these are actually working pretty fucking well, Jesus. Satisfied that I finally made this overclock work for me and completing the event, it was time to get back to the drop pod. making it back to the drop pod with no incident, and finally being able to implement this overclock, I was pretty satisfied with the results. Thank you all for staying this long to watch. I appreciate all the input you gave. Until the next video, miners, rock and stone.